Hands over this way. Move your stand up if you have to. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to our very own Jen. Irene. So today I'm really excited to introduce someone that's not only a former professional skateboarder, but also has worked with marketing teams, and just really has helped people get their businesses off the ground. And yeah, it should be a good time. So yeah, let's all introduce Mr. Gregg Witt.
One, two. I am Gregg Witt. I am a Pisces. I am a skateboarder, and I am the EVP of Motivate. That is corpo speak for Executive Vice President. Mature, I know. What that means, or what I do, is I'm a youth marketing strategist, and what that means is that I help brands develop and plan marketing campaigns. So that's what I do. And here is where I do it. Jack of all trades. So at Motivate, what we do is we help brands and also marketing agencies more effectively connect with somewhat difficult to reach audiences, multicultural, LGBTQ, and youth, through a lot of social, digital, and content marketing campaigns, and sometimes through event marketing. We work with big companies, like Disney, Macy's, Walmart, Forever 21, Autodesk, AutoCAD, and lots of design software, and the College Board, SAT. All right. Believe it or not, they have your best interest in mind. And disclaimer, because I also work with them. I want to say lots of nice stuff. So, where did I come from? In 1999, I started a marketing agency named Immersive Youth. It became over a 10-year, 15-year period, became a very recognized national agency targeting teens and young adults. I don't know where the gentleman is, but I was right. And had the opportunity to work with people like Will Ferrell from Funny or Die, and work with all kinds of just crazy startups. Just some of them were successful, some of them just totally failed. Then worked with lots of big companies along the way, and basically built my career. And I'm going to tell you all kinds of stories that sort of fit the theme today of make it or slam. I don't even know if anyone knows what that means, but I'm going to get into that later too. So let me go through just a couple slides about us. What I never want to do is start preaching about, I do this, and then we do that, and we're so cool because of this, that, and the other thing. But I think it's important for you to just have a little bit of context of what we do. So we have this app called ShowShot. I mean, when you talk about marketing, talking about marketing to you guys, I'm not you. I'm involved and I stay super close to young people in my life, but what we do to make sure that we really understand young people is we have an ongoing dialogue with them through our app. And what it does is in the app it has a mobile video so we can ask questions and then people your age can answer them with mobile video or sometimes just with basic surveys. And what that does is that gives us this huge arsenal of information so that it informs the approaches or the strategies and what we do to make marketing campaigns authentic or make them real for people your age within various different lifestyles and interests, hobbies and whatever it might be. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea. Mobile video responses, surveys, rewards, because that's all you guys really care about, really. And I shouldn't really say that, right, because I'm answering for you. But one of the things that I find that within Sure Shot, a lot of young people your age do get pretty stoked on is that lots of times it's not just like information surveys. Sometimes it's just ideas. Like we want new ideas. So for Hollister and for Disney, we're doing different ad concept for campaigns, or we're working on new products or new services, and we're just really asking people your age what you think or what you would want. And I find that some really great results come from that, and opening it up and just pretending, making sure that we as adults don't have any assumptions of what's right, and that we listen to you guys and find the truth. So that's just a little bit about one of our tools. Oops, I went too far. All right. So, first off, today, I'm not going to tell you anything new. I am going to tell you some things that I think you've heard a million times over, though. Like, try a lot of new things in your career, find your passion, and never give up. Find your passion. Sometimes when I hear that, I feel like I'm going to puke. Because face it, it's one of the most overused buzzwords that sometimes doesn't have context, or just kind of means like, oh, find your passion. Good luck. Kind of sounds like good luck. But if you really stop and think about it, trying a lot of things as you're going through and trying to figure out what you're going to do, and figuring out, what drives you, what matters, what's your purpose, what's your passion, and then once you feel like you're on track to stay the course and commit, those are three of the most important things that you're ever going to do. So what I'd like to do is ask some of you, what does it mean to you to find your passion? I'm an older dude. I'm a marketing guy. But any hands, I'll take like maybe 3 or 4 of you. What does it mean to find your passion? What's your passion? What does your passion mean to you? What you enjoy the most? That's right. Someone else? Yeah, make yourself happy without jeopardizing your success. That's sophisticated. Thanks. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because you love it and you're driven to do it. Great. Good. Something that gets you up in the morning. It's awesome.
Something that you're determined on doing no matter what other people say. So, like, no peer pressure or anything could ever change what that's what you want.
You're my dude. So let's try this a different one. How many of you know what you want to do? I know that's a stupid question. So how many of you feel pretty comfortable with your passion? Or look, you have an initial idea of what your passion is. Oh yeah, this is gonna get good. All right, way in the back, black hair, hands up the highest. I don't know your name. You. That you. Oh, I'm sorry. You can call me Mike. But do you have an answer? What's your passion? What do you want to do? You know what I mean? Like, do you have what you want to do, or have you found a passion or an initial passion? Music. Perfect. Anyone else?
Computer stuff.
Computer stuff. That's a pretty good one. The woman with the wrist. It's awesome. What grade are you in? Good. Short hair. Looking at me. Take care of animals. Yep, you do that on Instagram, you're going to be a billionaire. Okay. Back there. Computer graphic design. Awesome. Back there with the glasses. art, fashion, and textiles, right? Not textiles. Okay. You? Architecture. Architecture. You know, you guys are awesome because I guess when I was just a few years younger than you, and all I really wanted to do was party. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that passion as well and how it relates. But yeah, thank you. Let me show you how that was done responsibly. You know, all those passions are highly likely to change, and it's going to be awesome, right? But how many of you, like, really just don't even have a clue? I mean, I don't know, like, no one wants to admit that they're lost, but let's just say it's a struggle. It's an abyss. You don't know. The noise with the pre-drum roll. Yeah. Yeah. You don't really know what you're going to say, right? I mean, he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. You're the man. If you're lost, right? Anyone else? Like, it's just a big show of hands one more time. You're trying to figure it out, right? It's okay if you raise your hand twice. You raise it that you know what you're doing, and you raise your hand that you don't know what you're doing, right? You know, the best part about all that is that is going to change if you're persistent, and it's going to be awesome, right? You put in the footwork. We try to figure it out. In a lot of ways, I feel like I'm still figuring all that out myself too. I've created several different businesses. I'm going to talk about them. I've been pretty accomplished at skateboarding. I still skateboard avidly. But the one thing for me that I'm totally sure about, and that's my passion. And it's like bringing people together to make cool shit happen. That took me, like, I'm not even kidding you, because it took me like 20 or 30 years to figure out. Because I kept bouncing to all these different things that seemingly were like disassociated. I'm going to talk about it, but they seem to be so disassociated. And I don't know if it was you or you, but what would happen is there was this other prong to it. There was this other piece to it. And it was like, I was trying to make cool things happen. But this other driver showed up. And that was, as soon as people told me that you wouldn't pull it off, I was like, it's on. Now it is on. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to smash it in their face. My success is going to smear them right in the ground. Because let me take you back to 1991. I'm looking around here. I'm with young people all the time. And skateboarding's pretty cool. I mean, it is pretty cool, right? It's one of 100 things that are really cool. I get that. But in 1991, if you skateboarded, you got your butt kicked. And it wasn't that cool. And so here I was doing skateboarding and then working on different companies and been told once again in my life, you're not going to pull it off. Like, you're not good enough. Oh, who are you? So for me anyways, and I'm not suggesting that this like rebellion attitudes for everyone, but for me, the second that somebody said I wasn't going to pull something off, it was a major driver. And to be honest with you, it still is today. So let's see here. I'm going to do all this at once. Well, I'll introduce that. I want to share, a couple stories from my past. I've mentioned this a couple times now, but some of them are very, very successful, and some of them are total flops. Okay, but I've always done what I love to do. I've stayed true to that passion. And I think these stories that I'm going to share with you illustrate that. But they also do tie back up, where they ladder back up to this theme that's not on there anymore, make it or slam. Because with my origin in skateboarding, like making it, like making a trick, rolling away, whatever it might be, and then slamming. Slamming wasn't failure. You know, slamming was either a bruise or like a concussion in the ICU, or was a broken leg, you know, in half. But you heal, and you come back, and you keep on going, right? And so I thought it was a good metaphor, and I came up with it really fast that night when she needed a title. But I did feel like that does communicate, you know, something to think about. It's like, it's not make it or, it's not or, you know, you either kind of do it, you're successful, or you just fail, and it sucks. That's not how it is. You know, it may not be like the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you do that you end up doing either. You know, you may find a time when it's time to quit, and that's okay. But I'll start off with my first story, which is my favorite. And what I want to do is I want to bring you back to a small town called Winona, Minnesota. It's 1991. You know, my friends and I are amateur skateboarders. We're all sponsored. We ride for Vans. We ride for all these like weird B-level companies that kind of, they're not really that good. You know? And we created a skateboard company called Good Times because, like, our why was we wanted something better, you know, and we wanted to continue traveling and keep the party alive. So, like, I don't want to BS you around, but we wanted to do that responsibly through a company, through a means that we could do to support ourselves and then have a creative outlet. You know, so there was something more. I had my dad's support early on. And I was given sort of an option, right? I was saying, hey, you know, your sister went to St. Catherine's College. There she goes. She's all off to college doing the good thing. She's going to be very successful. And then here I am, you know, my dad looks at me, he's like, yeah, you don't want to go to college, do you? And I was like, I don't want to go to college, you know, I want to work. Oh, let's take a step back and look at that. I didn't even like to toil. Like anything that had to do with work, I tried to get out of it. I didn't want to work. Like for what? Like money? Businesses? What's all that? Who cares about that stuff? But I was given this option. Here's your money for college. You can use it to go to college, or you can use it to start this business. Because my dad saw, like, we put together, I mean, I don't even know how we put this together. We didn't have a business plan, let me tell you that. That's a whole other story. But we put together how to make the stuff, how to do the ads, and how to put the guys together, and where we were going to sell it. We put together a company, and we didn't have a clue what we were doing. Not one. We just were passionate, and it became a global brand. You know, we had some of the best athletes in the world. Reese Forbes, Peter Hewitt, Adam McNatt, Jordan Richter, Matt Moffitt, Sam Hitz, Al Thornton. I mean, I can list 30 guys, and half of them are still legit today. And we all started that company together. And in that whole time, as soon as it started, before it happened, in the middle of when we were working on it, and then as it was even successful, people would still come up to me, or I would hear it from somebody else who'd say, oh, that Good Times crap, that's never going to work, man. You know? I started clocking $8 a month. It was working. You know? Now I get to tell you the story about when it didn't work so well. We're sold in over 30 countries, maybe more, and then we ran into some financial troubles because we didn't know what we were doing. We went and found some investors. We put together a business plan. I found a dude that knew numbers, my buddy Brian, smart dude. He got to school me on actual numbers and some core business principles. I was ready to learn. I had a couple black eyes and a bloody nose. And we got funded. We walked out with a $50,000 check. Back then it was a lot of money. We took it to the bank. I told my guy over here, they wouldn't cash my check. They thought it was like fake. I was like, now it's on. Now the bankers are rebelling against me. They don't think I'm going to pull it off. I was like, this is crazy. I'm not joking. It happened like 3 times. Things were different back then. We evolved into a clothing factory. I met a woman that ran a cheerleading sewing company, uniforms. And if you recall the big baggy pants train, which flips back around once in a while, right? This is back when the Witt came up with the first jeans. Everybody else, they were just taking dickies and cutting the labels off and putting new labels on them. So I went in and I found this lady and I said, "Can you make some denim jeans?" And she goes, "Yeah, I can make some denim jeans. Let me call those and get us some factories." 6 months later, we had our own factory. We were a clothing brand. We were just a clothing brand. We were a clothing brand that other companies were coming to us to make their clothes at our factory. And it was on for a while. And we had a brand in Japan come and license us to make snowboards, our name. And to close the start, eventually, the ups and downs of that business and the roller coaster of doing the business, my passion was waning. I felt that my passion was waning, and I was hardly riding anymore. And I moved into a new opportunity, which is a perfect opportunity to go, well, I'm supposed to give you a takeaway. Oh, look at that, a little takeaway. If you find your passion, it doesn't feel like work. That's amazing, musician. Everyone in here, if you get that and it happens, and it doesn't feel like work, but that's going to give you the strength to go when it gets hard, because it's going to feel like work eventually. Yeah, you never know. And that'll give you the strength just to keep on going, so you can really live some of those 3 original ideals I was talking about, because it's going to be always hard, no matter what you do. So, story number 2. Sense Footwear. The footwear brand that you've never heard about and probably never will hear about again. Because I was at the skateboard company and I had a distributor from Korea, a guy who bought products. He shipped up, and all this guy ever did when he came to buy products from me, he always bought wheels. I never spoke one real legitimate word with the guy in like 3 years, but he would show up twice a year. This guy would buy wheels. And it's crazy because if we got a fax machine, it would be how you knew he was coming. You would get a fax thing, show up in paper at a machine. You'd be like, this guy, who's so is coming? He's coming to buy wheels. And one day, he comes in and he tells me that, you are going to run my footwear brand. And I was like, okay. This guy just showed up. He's telling me I'm going to run his footwear brand. I said, we're like, okay, just get your wheels and get out of here. Just get out of here. Goes back 6 months later, and he's got real shoes. He's got sample shoes that are legit. The guy's got shoes, and he comes back, and this keeps happening over and over and over again. And he's like, you're going to get a Mercedes, and you're going to have money, and he's got a check. He's like, so you're going to join my company? You're going to run it. And I'm finally sitting there, this guy gives us like 6. And I'm like, he's got legit shoes. He's getting made. And then I can have bigger budget for bigger riders and outfits and stuff. And sounds like I can get some clothes for that. So I took it. And I ran this company in 6 months. $7 million in sales. Right here? Too loud. I need to be more sensitive to this story. I'm going to slow down now. That's okay. So, I have a footwear company. I'm in charge of doing all the cool stuff. Sales, the ads, the team. And a long story short, it's time to move on for all kinds of different reasons that we don't even need to talk about. But in this era, in the late 90s, there were lots of boutique footwear brands because the guys with the swoosh couldn't figure it out. But in 2000, they figured it out and came out with the Nike SB. and every little small footwear company was dead, almost took DC out. There I was again. I would say that I was broke. That wouldn't be nice to say, but I was broke, and I had to reinvent myself. Well, I didn't have a clue what I was going to do, so I was with all the other hands, and I was sitting there going, hey, what's up? I would do this stuff. And a footwear brand, and I'm not going to do those again now. So what do? And a friend of mine calls me up. He says, a large, some kind of, I don't understand the kid, some big playground company is starting a skate park division. And we do. And I was like, this has got to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. This is crazier than the shoes, right? So it turns out it's Landscape Structures, the innovator of the playground. They call me in their office, and they want me to be like their acting CMO in charge of overseeing all the senior leadership and overseeing and consulting with their agency. And I just walked myself into, which was the start of my first agency and my first client. It was huge. And in doing that, it was almost like this crazy transformational experience because they knew they had me there. They knew I was the action sports guy. They knew I knew a thing about connecting with young people. But yet, for me, I had never had any big corporate world experience. I was unfiltered. I said exactly what I felt in front of anybody. It wasn't always good. I started working with big agencies, and I saw documents going back and forth, like PR plans, rollout spreadsheets, budgets, all these different tools, and I was like, oh, let me look at these. Here we go. I got a whole pile of templates. And eventually, I worked with them for almost 7 years, and it was this incredibly, and the sort of the origin of my agency. And I could go on and on and on about it, but I'll go to these slides first so you can see them. And the takeaway that I have for that playground story and for our brand is that to be open-minded when opportunities come your way, or to be on the lookout for opportunities at every juncture, because you never know where they're coming from. They don't always announce themselves. The shoot guy, he didn't announce himself like the way I could hear it, even though it was pretty loud. I didn't understand it. But the playground guy called, it was very clear, and I knew I had to jump on it. But what I learned from working with Landscape Structures was that you adapt to your environment, learn new skills no matter what it takes to evolve yourself. Now, the real funny story about the playground company is that when I went to go for my first meeting, my friend told me that it was mandatory that I wore a suit. He said that if you don't wear a suit, you're going to be disrespectful, and I just can't even bring you to this meeting. I've never worn a suit in my life, not even like a funeral. So I get a funeral suit, because that's a suit, as far as I knew, and I wear the suit, and I'm in there the whole day, and apparently these people like what I'm saying, and I finally get into the end of the meeting, the end of the day of meetings, and I'm sitting there with the president of this company, and the guy looks at me straight in the face, and he says, I've seen a lot of things. I've researched individuals and skateboard stuff all over the country, and everyone in my company likes what you're saying. Heck, we trust you. He's like, I got to level with you. I've never seen a skateboard guy wearing a suit. He's like, I got to understand this a little bit better. And immediately I was like, oh my gosh, I had to throw the suit on the ground. And I was like, he told me I had to wear the suit. And the story about that is like, for me, maybe it's like you had to be there, it's super funny for me, right? But to me, I think the lesson for you to learn from that is adapting to your environment and then really taking a long, hard look at what does truly mean to stay true to your passion. Because for me, if I was actually staying true to my passion, I would have never gone with the suit. I would have never done it. I kid you not. I heard later that they seriously wondered if I knew what was up because I had a suit on. I could have lost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollar deal from wearing a suit. It's no joke. So we got these interesting queen. How many of you? And here's the point in time. One time as I'm running a national youth marketing agency. Things are cooking. It's after Playground. It might have even been around the same time Playground's still going as a client. Okay, that's where we are on the timeline. How many of you have ever heard of the Nigerian email scam? It's like, hey, the most honorable, Rufus the 32nd. I've got $2 billion and all I need is your bank account information. Kid you not. My vice president of client services gets a and he says, "You've got to see this, man. It's coming from the Queen Rania of the government of Jordan and their interests in checking out the United States and animation series and like all these different words and some words that I don't even think are English." And they're like, we just needed to tell you that we got this crazy email because it's like the funniest email we've ever seen, right? Because they're just going to delete it and throw it out. And I said, well, send it to me and let me take a look at it. I mean, it would be funny to see that. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, hey, you guys, I think this is legit. I'm like, and they're just laughing at me. They're like, whatever, dude. I'm like, watch this. I'm going to email these guys back. And then like 48 hours, I'm on a conference call with like Queen Rania's people, Rhonda, the leading entrepreneur of the Middle East, and they're just trying to find an agency partner to help bring their animated episode back to the United States market. And they're like, hey, there's no better way to get to know each other better than, you guys just fly over here to Jordan and, let's talk and see if we're going to be a good fit. So I'm like, it's like 3.5 weeks before, there's this email that looks like the Nigerian bank scam, and then like less than 4 weeks, I'm in Jordan. I'm just like, and then like 7 days later after meetings there, I'm like floating in the Dead Sea. Just going like, man, I didn't like respond to that email, right? How crazy is that? And so this story of Ben and Izzy is the story of an American boy and a Middle Eastern boy. And, they have all these adventures that go on. It's a long story, but they meet a genie. And the story's about acceptance, tolerance. It's about everybody we're all one, And what I did for this company was everything from United States national research, strategic planning to launch those DVDs that they sold at the time. We were working on a partnership for distribution with Cartoon Network. And we put together a plan that was very, very solid. And then I get to mention, like seriously, because I got to work Campbell, Lucy, because they were the voices for the girl and one of the kids. I mean, they didn't mention that in the email that they sent us. And we built this plan. We even connected them with distribution so that if they, have the final 26 produced episodes, that we were ready to go. And then it was on. They paid us for all of this work. It was like a joke for years later in the agency, just like, man, I can't believe that you responded to that email. So we worked for these guys for like 6 months. Bill had everything ready to go, and then they hired a producer who worked on that sort of semi-popular show, cartoon G.I. Joe. And he's my friend. Dave's a rad guy. He's a producer. Dave, the producer, right? And but he just goes, Ben and Izzy, 2 kids that are like liking each other. He's like, this he pulled the plug. In like 2 weeks, the 6-month plan that was ironclad with sales projections, it was going to be awesome, was dead. And what's the takeaway? I mean, check your emails a couple times, but whatever. But even the best plans can fail. You know, some things are just not going to happen. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you fail. You're just going to put a lot into things sometimes, and you're going to find out years later that all you really learned was just like how to do a lot of skills development and just work on stuff and get some cool experiences, or sometimes really crappy ones. My last story is about making Mouse. At the agency, what we do, we don't just work with any client. We call it the discovery process, screening process, to decide if it's going to be the right kind of client, the right type of work, the right timeline, the right budget. You know, you get the idea. You know, you're basically interviewing. And Walt Disney World, they came to me and my team, and they said, "Hey, you know, we're having a bit of a challenge." And the challenge is that out of everybody that goes to the theme parks, young people aged 9 to 13, some of them think it's a little bit too babyish. We got to fix it. And we know you guys are the guys. And so they say to me, it's a typical Disney fashion, but I'm saying what I'm saying. And they say to me, and I'm going to take a step back, what we do when clients come to us and they want to hear our ideas, and they want us to do some pre-work called a pitch, or they want us to present a proposal, or whatever you want to call it, we have about a 14-day time frame from which we do really great work, and we put together those things. But they had a timeline, and they, you know, there was something going on there. They said, "Hey, you know, you have to have this done in 7 days, start to finish." And while I was on the phone with them, I said, "Hey, I'm not interested. We're just not going to do it. We're going to walk. Thank you so much for calling us." And I had like my CFO, my creative director, like 5 of the people on my team. I thought they were going to punch me. I said, "No, we're not going to do it. I know how much stress it's going to be for you guys. How are you going to be passionate about doing the work when you're going to be up against the wall? And then to find out that you just don't get the deal because you never know how many people you're competing with." Probably it was like 5. So I respectfully told them we're going to decline. We're not going to do it. When they called back in 4 weeks and they said, "Yeah, nobody else could pull it off either. We want you guys. But just give it a proposal. Let's get going." And we were able to, the honor to develop the social and digital strategy playbook content plan for all about Disney World. It's called Best Day Ever, the YouTube and Instagram channel. It's among the most successful content pieces that they have to date, and we're pretty proud of it. But core values, because sometimes you just have to take a stand in order to do your best work. And it's not going to be easy. I mean, I did an autopilot. I knew this was going to be, I had an intuition that they were going to come at us with something unrealistic. That was in, I'm shutting it down mode. I kind of had a thought in my head. I shut it down right there. And I got the stuff. You know, it's not easy to do that. And in next week, I may run into something else that I actually look for that I should. So ask for it. That's my short little stories. But I have a personal brand challenge. How many of you are on LinkedIn? Wait, let me take a step back. How many of you know what LinkedIn is? All right, well, this is a good start. Okay, how many of you are on LinkedIn? Okay, how many of you do something when you're on LinkedIn? Yeah, I like that. There's like 1 or 2 soldiers. Okay, so this is the challenge. Like, I promise you this. If you all go in to LinkedIn in the next 7 days, you sign up, you build your profile, right? Completely build it out the best you can. And one time a week, you post something in there. Whether you set up Google Alerts, just find something online you think that's interesting, that's remotely or as close associated with your passion or what you want to do, or better yet, your career path. I'm going to promise you that if you're applying for a job, a project, or anything similar to that, you're going to be 100 times more likely to get selected. Sign up for LinkedIn, set up a profile to the best of your ability, and one time a week, post something on there in the most authentic voice you can. Don't fake it. Within 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, I'm expecting to get a message from you that thanking me. I'm serious. So, before we close, I have 2 opportunities. I'm an entrepreneur guy that's an executive president at a cool company. So of course I've got 2 opportunities, right? One is super huge, super cool, completely secret, confidential opportunity, which sucks for you right now, but that if your teachers, team, principal are interested in engaging you in it, it has to do with insights, it has to do with your ideas, it has to do with involving you in a project. That's one that will hopefully come forward. 2 is that I have 2 internship opportunities that I'm opening up for any of you, just for any of you in here. If you're interested in some way, shape, or form getting involved in the social media and the content aspect of an agency, I always work with up to 3 students from your age to early college. And frankly, it's how I learn a lot of things that I do, right? Because I can't talk the talk if I don't walk the walk. So that opportunity, like an opportunity to apply or whatever, and it's around social and digital content, and it can be done remote and everything. So I'm done sort of speech preaching about that, but that'll come your way. And then before we wrap up, I'd like to open it up for any Q&A if you guys have any questions of me. Let it rip. Where's the gentleman that announced me? Come on over here, buddy. Yeah. I would thank this guy, and then this guy's also the microphone runner.
Oh, God. All right.
It's a social media platform. Oh, what kind of content? So it's just like a wall or just posting something to your feed, kind of like Facebook. What's that? No, you don't have to use audio at all. You can use text or just images, or you can even just reshare stuff if you just want to be in the feed and get noticed. So you can do it as sort of, playing around, just tossing, not putting a lot of investment into it. And you can do video now. You can post 24/7. It's no different than accessing Instagram or Facebook. Hold on. Good question. Any other questions, Brian?
Down here.
Who's the microphone guy?
What have you found to be the most effective way to kind of express or connect with youth outside of checking social media or speaking with students directly? Are
certain lifestyle too. First know who you're
even talking to. I think a lot of people, like, a lot of companies, a lot of brands look at all of you like teens. Let's talk to the teens. It's like, no, there's gamers, there's skaters, there's people into fashion and beauty and unboxing, there's people into crafts and Etsy and DIY, and there's people that are just into academics, and there's people that want to start a startup, and there's people that are woven groups of those segments, right? So typically, I'm not totally answering it, but typically what we do is we look, depending on how big they're trying to go, we try to focus our clients, our brands, into picking the largest group of like-minded audiences that they can reach, so that it's not just some kind of a shotgun message. Now, there's the voice. So a lot of companies, they'll try to talk with you on Instagram. Like, right, you guys know better than I do. Like, I'm not, like, it's you guys, right? Not me. So, but they just try to, I believe my experience is that they just talk down to you sometimes. And it's like, I'm this big guy, like, just check out on your shirt. And it's like there's no story, or there's no, like, peer-to-peer. And so, not every time, but a lot of the time, we're more successful when we're developing a persona or a voice for a brand through social media. And it's very human, and it's very aligned with all those different targeted, groups. Like, it's so much different when you're doing Autodesk education than when you're doing the best day ever for tweens that are almost kids and then almost teenagers for Walt Disney World. And then it's like completely different animal for Nitro Circus, right? Like, it's a totally different thing. And then there's just content and formats, and we could go into content marketing all day. But did that kind of help? Okay.
So throughout your story, it sounded like a lot of things came out that were definitely unpredictable. There were things that you couldn't exactly plan for, and you decided to just kind of just impulsively go for it. Do you say that's that's a good tactic to lean on, or would you say that's kind of a good?
I don't know. I mean, look.
I'm going to give you the non-politically correct answer. It's like, for a lot of people, there's like this whole education pathway, and some people it's an entrepreneurial and an educational pathway. I think it's having some kind of a feeling inside where you see like an opportunity make sense, because, man, every time I almost got to the point where I overanalyzed every one of these opportunities, And sometimes these opportunities were like Hail Marys. Just like all of a sudden, the kid calls from a like he's got a playground company contact. Like, I couldn't have made that up. It was impossible. But what I know that I did do by finding my passion is that every step along the way, I did everything I could to position myself as somebody who knew at least how to make these companies happen. I mean, look, I think the younger you are, then you can do that. And you can just knee-jerk reaction go for a bunch of stuff. I'd say, like, you start reaching like 24, 25, start figuring out a focus. Some people can find a focus a lot earlier, right? You have a lot more wiggle room when you're younger. I would go and do all the crazy high-risk stuff as early as humanly possible. Did that kind of answer your question? Okay, cool. Microphone check. Perfect. Mic man has spoken.
So you had a lot of like big companies, you said Pashion Network, and then you went to all these other crazy companies. Where did you get to the point like Disney? Okay. Other companies like
Disney and Cartoon Network. Where did you come to the point where those companies came to you, and for any other entrepreneur, how can they get there?
Okay, so the question is like, how do you attract? And I think that is kind of the question of how do you position yourself and then how do you attract. Now, what we did at our agency specifically was a lot of great content on our blog, tons of speaking engagements, and really getting good at SEO, really understanding how all that content and where that content was going to get redistributed and forming different parts. And then it was a lot of bloggers. Now it's a lot of YouTubers and other different types of social channels, and creating that content so that when our unique terms, youth marketing agency, youth culture, youth market, that big brands would eventually come to our website and find us. And then, of course, what happens is you have the horse in the cart. So you have to start with possibly working with some startups. Then you get that one bigger brand, startup, and then a bigger brand, and it just adds layers to where the SEO keeps getting better, and they keep perceiving you as credible because they see that you have badge clients. So it is a long process. I think we're done.
So we said volleyball was leading, so we've got
7 more minutes.
How important would you say college is to entrepreneurial success?
You asked the wrong guy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I believe that college is super important and that every individual learns completely different. So if I would have went to college, there are about 52 different mistakes I would have made. That would have been really, really helpful. Instead, I learned those same business principles from other people, and at the end of the day, I've had people who've gone to college and the people who've never gone to college say that it probably costs around the same amount of money. So I think going to college is great if you are honing in on your focus. I think anything you do, I think if you start a startup because you want to be cool, and I think if you go to college because you want to party the money away, I think those are really bad ideas. But I think if you are trying to learn, you're real serious, I think my gut would say, my advice would be it's a hybrid. Go to college and have a side hustle. That'd be my recommendation. But I don't know. You get back to me in 5 years on that? Cool. Anyone else?
Do you ever find that it's overwhelming knowing that these big name brand companies are coming to you for things that they really want? Do you feel it's just too much, like that weight is on your shoulders?
Heck yeah. Smart. So right now I'm doing the influencer marketing work for the college board, and I'm doing several other pretty high profile client work where they're literally assigning us a task or an assignment where it's, if our test program fails, that whole initiative's wiped. And it's not about us, it's not about our creativity or our ego. That's like a whole team of like 15 people that have been working internally to get that budget to even be able to do that kind of marketing work. So it's like a ton of pressure, and you have to really almost assume entrepreneurial work, and not necessarily just entrepreneurial work, working like in a role like I have as an executive vice president now. It's like, it's a lifestyle, and you really have to be prepared to find life balance, but also that you're going to put in a lot of extra hours because you just want to be dedicated to success. It's a ton of pressure.
You've mentioned working with teams a lot. How do you balance compromising with yourself and then preserving your vision?
That's a good question. Always establishing benchmarks for success. Always establishing some kind of clear and measurable criteria, even if it's like a little bit soft, it's a little subjective. Influencers, we want to have influencers involved. Here's 10 points of criteria in order to select them. Or here's, I don't know, you have to get people aligned on something concrete. Otherwise what happens is people just start getting agitated and aggravated, and egos get in the way, and it's hard building teams. Honestly, it's hard for me to do. I'm really good at it, but it's still really hard for me to do. There's all these different characters and different mindsets that get involved with teams. I just always say, like, when there's always a disagreement, right? There always is, and it's like, forget about yourselves, think about the brand. Make the brand of the child, and then say, oh, well, is that in the brand's best interest? And all of a sudden, 90% of every problem starts going, well, all right, yeah, you're probably right. But you just really have to separate team members from and really look at the brand as like a child, or the brand as like this thing here. I think child's probably a good metaphor. It's a very good question. Another? Sorry.
So you mentioned kind of close to the beginning of it that, at the beginning of it, that there were some startups and a large portion of them just didn't work out, either got off the ground and then crashed pretty soon, or just couldn't even get off the ground. So did anybody that was working with those ever get a chance to try again and maybe revise some things? And if not, do you feel like some ideas were wasted or just did have potential, just didn't have the right context?
Good questions over here. Yes and no. I find a lot of these people there were hundreds of companies that were planning to go do something like threadless. Tons, probably still are. And I worked with a few. And I think that from those projects, I think that they did definitely go on and do other things very successfully from those learning lessons. I mean, I've worked with licensors who thought they were going to come in and license X Games, come in and license Body Glove, and they thought it was going to be just like, one click and there you go, because you're going to ride the equity of that brand, and then just totally flop. So, but I know that they're super successful at other stuff that they're doing. So sometimes people jump way too far into their comfort zone and jump into startups. I know that there was this startup Kumbaya, and they were doing social network that was based on fandoms, and he couldn't kind of like figure out how to run that himself, but it got embedded into the CW network and became a very successful sort of fandom way to connect with exclusive merchandise and stuff. I think that's a pretty good example. A lot of hard lessons learned now. Yeah, but there's definitely people who try once, try twice, try three times, and then come up with something of that same model, that same business model, and do figure it out. For sure.
How do you measure success, and how do you keep work out of vacation?
How do you keep work out of vacation? Struggle through some relationships? No. Get a little older and wiser? No. You have to balance them. It's incredibly difficult. What was the other part of the question? Sorry. Well, how do you measure success? So we got to wrap it up, but this is really important and a really great end. So we call them KPIs, key performance indicators. One's sales. One is, there's lots of different ones. One's an acquisition, so a sign up, like some kind of and then a softer acquisition, like a follow or a like on a page. And then we'll measure success based on the deeper level of engagement and just how the type of sentiment, like are they sharing content, are they really engaging and subscribing and continually being interested in something. There's like literally we have sets of KPIs for many different areas of the business, but that's the most important thing, the best question. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's give a big round of applause for people. Okay, students, so we are continuing on with our rotations. So you are going to your next class that's on that rotation schedule you guys have. Thank you.